on this one, it's y equals and a is positive, so the first thing we do is sketch it up. Focus goes inside, directrix goes outside. The vertex, because this is with the x, the opposite of that is my x. What's added to the end is the y. So that's where I'm going to start plotting this. We're going to plot the vertex at the point -4, +4. There's the vertex. Okay, so I've got the vertex. I know how it's supposed to look. After I do those two things, I find P. Now P, we talked about yesterday in class, and those of you that watched the video heard that P is the distance from the vertex to the focus and the vertex to the directrix. And the way we find P, it's 1/4a. So in this case, it's 1/4 times 1, because a is an understood 1, so it's 1/4. P is a 4. Okay, so we already decided that this opens up. So the focus would be up 1/4 because it's always inside. Well, up 1/4 would put the focus at the point -4, 4.25. There's the focus.
If I kept it in a fraction,
If you kept it in a fraction, that is totally fine. If you wrote -4, 4 1/4, -4, 17/4, anything that's equivalent, I'm totally happy with it. Okay, so the directrix is the other way. It is back 1/4, so it would be a straight line, not a curvy, wavy one like I just drew. Okay, if this is y equals, the directrix is y equals. Okay, and it's back 1/4, so it would be 3.75, or you could have written 3 3/4. All right, now to graph it, there's two ways to graph it. And I'm going to look for 3 accurate points. 3 accurate points. One of them's the vertex. So really the vertex is easy. You only have to give me 2 more after the vertex to get full credit for this graph. All right, 2 ways to do it. The old way, using the moves from the vertex, or the new way, and that's where that's WAP. The new way, and that's where you double the p-value from the focus. So p is 1/4. If we double that, that is 1/2. I would go over 1/2 and over 1/2. So that is one way to get accurate points. The other way is using moves. 1 squared is 1. -1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. -2 squared is 4. Remember? And there's our graph. So you can use the old way with moves, or the new way, doubling P, and go either direction from your focus. Either way, totally fine. Okay, number 2, x equals and a +a, opening right. So the focus would be in here, the directrix would be back there. I want that sketch out beside every single problem. Zach, I want that sketch out beside every single problem before you start.
Open right.
Open right, open shut.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. All right, so this is x equals. So the opposite of this is the y at the vertex. What's added to the end is the x.
That is correct.
Okay, so this vertex is at the points 2, 5. Vertex. All right, P is 1/4 times A. What is A in this problem? It's the understood 1, so P is a 4. which means I go over to the right a fourth to get my focus. Back to the left a fourth to get my directrix. So the focus was over to the right a fourth. So it's 2 1/4, which is 2.25. Okay? The directrix back a fourth. If this is x equals, this is x equals. And back a fourth would be 1.75 or 1 3/4. Same difference. Any equivalent statement there. Now, to graph this one, if I do the new way of doubling P, it gives me 1/2. So I would go up a half from the focus and down a half from the focus. If I use the moves, I would go 1 1, 1 1, 2 4, 2 4. You can do it either way. Everything lines up beautiful.
That is a parabola.
Yeah.
Wait, which one are these types called? Parabolas?
Yes.
What did we do last time?
Hyperbolas.
So many English words. Alright.
Yep, there's 4.
It's about 3.
Alright. I'm going to sketch it. It's x equals and positive. It's going right again. Focus inside, directrix behind. The vertex, the opposite of this is my y. So that is my x. The vertex is the point -2, 2. Alright. P is 1 over 4 times a. 1 over 1. 1. So the focus would be to the right one. The directrix would be back 1. This one's really nice. That's easy. So the focus is the point -1, 2. The directrix, because this is x equals, this is x equals, it's x equals -3. Now, the new way is the best way to graph this one, because when I double the P is 1, that means from the focus I would go up 2 and down 2 to get the 2 other points that my parabola passes through. And there we go. So now I've got 1, 2, 3 accurate points. That's what I'll be checking for on your graph.
I messed up.
Alright, it happens.
Because I was still doing like the point. I was still doing the points based off of like y equals. So like I would do like instead of when it says y minus 5 there, I still did like 5 to the point.
Oh, gotcha.
So I got
Yep. Got in the groove. Okay. Go ahead and check 4 and 6. 4 and 6, and then we'll do 5 together.
Mine is correct. Wait, is it? Yes. Tell them about Atlanta United game.
All the port money, you have a single one, right? Which one are you talking about?
Bro. I'm still wrong, dude.
My number 4 was correct. It was 6.
He is -1. She calls herself double.
Hey, does who do like?
How did I get it?
Yeah, bro, you're not bad.
1/8 plus 1/8 is 2. How do you go from 1/8 to 1/8?
Hey, I did that until I was 17.
Is this thing?
I literally just stopped writing the budget probably like 2 months ago. No, it wasn't, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it was terrible. You just said that you were in elementary school, right?
What we would have to do.
No, bro.
Honestly, like with us in middle school was pretty dope. And then like,
So why does it go down?
why are you using the highlighter?
Bro, this is crazy.
I'm number 4.
Is this your excuse?
Kind of.
Yeah. Oh, because you multiply.
I don't really, the only thing I don't really understand are the ellipse.
Huh?
Not the ellipse. That's, you know, you like, your mom came to our first game. She was at the hospital and came to our game. Well, she came down like at 4 in the morning. She woke up, she looked out to watch us, and then she was going down to work. But
It's you
I was in the hospital, so she just watched the What hospital were you in? St. Joseph. She drove down once or twice. I did.
Alright, so this is y equals and it's negative, so it's going down. Alright, the vertex is here. P is 1/4 times -2, -1/8. Now, guys, this is not a good one to double P. So using the moves on this one is much better. And because of this -2, when I look at the moves on this one, I'm going to go over 1 and down 2. Instead of 1, 1, I'm doing 1, 2. That gives me 3 good points to sketch the graph. So if P is really small, doubling P is not very helpful. If P is like 1 or 2 or 3, doubling P is okay. If P is a half, doubling P is good. But when P is a very small fraction, if you double it, it's still really hard to see it when you go to graph it. So you might want to go back to the moves way. Okay, does that make sense? All right, let's go ahead and do the next one together. This is x equals a negative, so it's going left. Focus has to be inside, directrix outside. The vertex. The opposite of this is the y. What's added at the end this time is the x. So 1, 3, boom. P is 1/4 times -1/2. So this is -1/2. Because 4 times -1/2 is -2. 1/2 is -1/2. So the focus would be right here. Left a half. So your focus will be the point 1/2, 3. The directrix is the other way, 1/2 unit. So the directrix is the equation x equals 1.5 or 1.5. Now this one, it's okay to double P, because if we double our P here, we get 1. When we double -1, sure. And so that means we go up and down 1 unit. Sure.
Me to the counselor.
Maddie guidance. So, no, I didn't say what it's called.
Oh.
So we go up and down 1 unit. 1 unit up from the focus.
Do it.
From the focus. 1 unit down from the focus. And there we go.
I thought too. Do you think your legs would attract sunburn?
What now?
think it's the bird seed after the
No, bro.
See,
I really got
I'm going to the. You know what? No.
Okay,
They're accusing me of
any other
something too.
Alright. I'm guessing from the discussion that we're good.
Yeah.
Alright. So today we're gonna come up with equations given different things. Okay.
Don't shut the blinds.
Don't
do it.
Don't do it.
If he goes to the other one, then like
That's
that
bait
would-
right there.
Okay.
That really is out there.
I'm a bird.
Everyone's so mad at
Hopefully he makes a play.
In my head, I'm thinking some of you need to start
Chinese
thinking
are
of
gonna
a
take
different
over.
route other than college.
Right.
Or the Russians.
Distracted. Today it's not China or the Russians.
What is it
Today it's
Japanese.
today it's unless we can focus on learning a little more, don't go to college.
What?
Australia or something.
Yeah,
It's a bit
save
harsh.
money. Okay. Alright. It's always good to have a backup plan. It's always good to have a backup.
Maybe it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Where's your sheet? I'm focused.
Okay, so today we're looking at two different things. One is where you're given two characteristics of the parabola, you sketch the parabola. Two, you're given the equation for the parabola that is not in standard form, and you have to get it in that conic form, standard form for a conic, so that you can graph it. Okay, this one gives a vertex at 0, 0, and they were very nice, they gave us a graph. It also gives us the focus is the point 0, 2. So because of those two things, I know it has to open up because the focus is always inside the parabola. Okay? Because the focus is always inside the parabola, I know it must open up. I can also tell from the graph that these 2 points are 2 units apart. So P is 2. Because I can tell from the graph that the focus and the vertex are 2 units apart, I know that P is 2. Now I can write the equation. It's y equals 1 over 4P x minus the x value at the vertex, and then the y. Okay, we don't need the zeros. Zeros don't do us any good. So the equation for the parabola is y equals 1/8 x squared.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait, I'm sorry, where did you get P from? Where did you find that? Just
Um,
like the,
Which one did you
I counted the distance from the vertex to the focus, and we said that that distance was 2.
So where did the 1/4 come from?
The equation for a parabola is always y equals 1 over 4p.
Or I thought it was 1 over 4A. That's kind of the same thing. That's
It's actually y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. But what is a?
1 divided by 4 times C.
No, that's what P is 2.
Well, that's the answer, but she was asking anyway.
Okay, so p is 2. You're right, p is 2. And then we plug it in. Now let's finish this graph. Because p is 2, we go over 4 and back 4 to get the graph. Now I have 3 good points. That's what I'm looking for. 3 good points. The directrix is going to be 2 units in the other direction. There it is. So the equation of the directrix is y equals -2.
Nope, don't get this.
Alright.
Well, you have to do the direct
Keep trying,
the
keep
same
trying.
distance from the foci, don't you?
Keep
So,
pushing.
Correct.
so did you even really have to graph it to
I'm
know
just
the...
The only thing I'm struggling with are the points. Everything else is fine.
Alright, guys, if you need to say something out loud, I need you to raise your hand or you're going to get detention. Okay, so if you have a comment or a question or a concern or anything that relates to math, you can raise your hand. Otherwise, you just keep your mouth shut. Okay, let's do number 2 because a lot of people didn't listen well while I went over number 1. There was a lot of chit-chatting which made it difficult for other students. You're going to hush or get thrown out. Yeah, so don't have little comments because that makes it hard for other people to hear. You don't realize that, but it really makes it hard for other students to hear when you have lots of little mumbling going on. Okay? So, number 2. This is the vertex. I left off the V. This is the vertex. It's at 0, 0 again. This time the focus is at -2, 0. So this is my focus. This is my vertex. I know it has to go left because the focus is always inside the vertex.
Does that mean it's going to start
Inside the
with X
parabola.
instead
Did you raise your hand? Yes, ma'am.
of Y? So it means it's going to start with X instead of Y.
Yes, it is going to start with X. It's going to start with X, and we know it's going to be negative because it's going left. Okay? So now we have to find that 1 over 4p. That's what...
So he says negative. What's negative?
When it opens left,
Did
it's
you
negative.
raise your
If it
hand?
opens right, it's positive.
I don't have a question.
Okay, from here to here, I'm going left 2. So that is -2.
Oh.
-2. Because it's left 2. And this time it's y minus the y value squared. And the x goes at the end. But the vertex is at 0, 0. So that doesn't make any difference. So the equation for the parabola is x equals -1/8 y squared. Now I've got the equation for the parabola. To finish the graph, because p is 2, I would get double that. Go up 4 and down 4 from the focus. And then sketch in the graph. Now, if the focus is 2 units to the left, the directrix would be 2 units to the right of the vertex. This is x equals, so this is 2. And this is actually x equals 2. Okay? So I'm going to leave number 3 for you to do. Yes, sir.
I'm confused with how big 2.
Okay, let's count. 1, 2.
So it's like trying to equal
It is 2 units from the vertex to the
So
focus.
that's the answer. All I tried is 2.
P is the distance from the... Okay. So, oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to hit this. All right, let's do one that's not at the origin. All right, Mary, which one looks good to you? 4, 5, or 6?
4.
Okay. All right, so let's sketch what they give us. The vertex is the point 2, 3. Good. That's my vertex. The focus is the point 2, 2. You did pick a good one. We hadn't done one that opened this way. Thank you.
It opens.
It opens which way exactly? Yes, it does. It opens down. Okay, so we know it opens down because the focus has to be inside the parabola. Okay, so since it opens down, it's y equals...
Something negative.
It is negative because to go from the vertex to the focus, it is down 1 unit. Down 1. -1. Down 1 unit. Okay, now this time we actually have some work to do in here. Because the vertex is not 0, 0, this is x minus the x value plus the y. So this equation becomes y equals -1/8 x minus 2 squared plus 3. That is not -1/8, that's -1/4. 4 times 1 is not 8. It's never 8. It's always 4. Okay. Now, I can graph it because I know P was 1. If I double it, I get 2. So I go 2 units in either direction of the focus. When you double P, that tells you where those other 2 points go. Now, this was 1 unit, so the directrix will be 1 unit on the other side. 1 unit away is y equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Get it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's flip over to the back. We're going to look at number 8. All right, on number 8, I want you to graph what they gave you. Graph what they give you.
What do we do? Graph it?
Graph what they've given you.
I can't.
Oh.
Well, I already know where the center is. You're gonna stop playing with me.
Okay, so let's do it. We don't know the vertex. So 2, -1 is the focus, and the directrix is x equals -2. X equals is that vertical line. That's the directrix. X equals -2. The vertex is always halfway in between. It's in the middle. So the vertex has to be right there. In between. In the middle. So I know the vertex is what? 0, -1. Okay, is this going to open up, down, left, or right?
Right.
Right. It's going to open right. That's how it has to look. So it's going to be x equals 1/4 times what?
2.
2. The distance from here to here, there to there. 2. Okay, then it's y minus the y value, which makes it a +1. Because minus a -1 makes a +1. And then plus the x at the vertex. Do I need to write +0? No. So really all I need is x equals 1/8 y plus 1 squared. Okay, we'll do number 9.
What about the
We've got the vertex, we've got the focus, we've got the directrix, we've got the equation. Oh, you want to graph it?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So if P is 2, I would double it and go up 4 and down 4 from the focus to get the graph. Thank you, Zach. I'd forgotten to graph it.
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand. Like I interrupted you. I apologize. And I didn't do it again.
All right, this one opens up, tells us. So we know it goes this way. It also tells us the vertex is at 0, 0. Now, it doesn't give us a focus, it doesn't give us a directrix. So when we look at this equation, y equals a times x minus 8 squared plus k. We can't figure out p, so we can't do this one in terms of p. because they didn't give us a focus and they didn't give us a directrix, so we can't figure out P. But we can figure out A. We know because it's at 0, 0, that this turns to 0 and that turns to 0, so that's the equation. Y equals A times x squared. And then they also give us this point that is on the parabola. And so what that means is, if I plug in 2 for x, I will get out 16 for y. And now, do you see we can solve for A? So we get 16 equals 4A, so A is 4. So the equation is y equals 4x squared. So if I went over 1, I'd multiply it by 4. Instead of 1, 1, I'd go 1, 4. There's the graph. It's stretched vertically a whole bunch. So we could find the focus and the directrix now, because P is 1 over 4A, just like A is 1 over 4P. Isn't that weird? All right, so we can find these things because P, in this case, is going to be 1/16. So the focus would be up a 16th, so it would be 0, positive 1/16. And the directrix would be down a 16th, so it would be y equals negative a 16th.
There we go.
Okay, and now I'm going to make up 2 examples that are like the last 3. You see the last 3 on your sheet? So you can put these, if you have room in the right, do you have room beside the hole punches over there on the right? Just kind of put a line down right here, and we're going to do 2 examples. Example 1, x squared plus 8x minus 2 equals y. Okay, this is a parabola, and you always know you're dealing with a parabola if you have both the x and y, but only one variable is squared. Okay, and in this case, it's the x being squared. So because the x is squared, it's a y equals parabola. If the y was being squared, it would be an x equals parabola. Now, it's not the right form. So just like with the circle, just like with the ellipse, just like with the hyperbola, we have to complete the square to get this parabola in the right form. So we're going to move this number over. Move the constant over. Same exact stuff. And this time we have to complete the square for the x because it's the squared one. So you take half and square it, just like every other conic. It's 16, so we have to add 16 here. All right, this perfect square trinomial factors to what? X plus 4. And 2 plus 16 is 18. And then you move the 18 back.
What?
Yo!
What happened?
I missed it.
It's not even common either. Like, most people don't even do
I missed it.
that. You hiccuped and you both said bless you at the same time.
I did.
Even though you're supposed to say bless you when you sneeze.
I did.
Yeah.
How do you know that you
I on my head was hurting.
You just focus on that.
Oh, wait. I wanted to do this one Y. I'm sorry. Change these to Y's.
Is that what happens when you? Six. Oh, that's the next example.
Yeah, that's example 2.
I thought that was the answer.
Alright,
That's why I did that, but
so
I didn't plug it in the calculator.
the Y is the one that's squared. The X is not. So we know it's a parabola. Only one squared variable. We don't care about coefficients. We don't care about sum or difference. It's automatically a parabola, no matter what. So we're going to leave the Y's on this side. We're going to move everything else to the other. And when we move, it switches to the opposite. This one has a coefficient, so when we complete the square, we have to factor that out, just like we did with a hyperbola. Okay, to this side, what do I add? 1, but because the 4 out in front, to keep it balanced, to this side I have to add 4. So now, when I factor this perfect square trinomial, it factors to a binomial squared. What is it? Y minus 1.
I didn't get this right. Oh, I did. Wait. No, I didn't.
I'm kind of
Okay.
stuck there. Well,
Now we gotta get it to where it's x equals. We gotta get the x by itself. So once we get it as a binomial square, then we gotta get this variable by itself. So we're gonna subtract the 1 from the end. And then we have to divide everything by 2. So this becomes 2 times y minus 1 squared minus a half equals x.
So if we just left it as 4 over 2, that'd be like half a point up because you didn't reduce or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Zach.
Oh.
Okay, now all the ones we did not do in class, those are homework.
Oh.
Yes. And go ahead and get started on that.